A billionaire's revelation. John Harwood, a self-made billionaire celebrated for his generosity and modest lifestyle, lived a life of quiet benevolence. Despite his vast wealth, he shunned the limelight, finding joy in helping others without seeking recognition. One evening, John found himself in a high-end restaurant, waiting for a blind date named Amanda. She had a reputation for being a gold digger, but John had his reasons for giving her a chance. As he waited, John noticed a young man about his age struggling to maneuver his wheelchair near the entrance. The man, Alex, looked exhausted, probably having come from a nearby doctor's office. Without hesitation, John approached him. "Need a hand?" John asked kindly. Alex smiled gratefully. "Thanks, it's been a long day." John, struck by a spontaneous idea, asked, "Mind if I sit in it for a moment?" Alex looked puzzled but nodded. "Sure, go ahead." John carefully transferred himself into the wheelchair, feeling a strange sense of liberation. He rolled around, enjoying the change in perspective, laughing like a child. It was an unusual sight, this powerful, affluent man in an impeccably tailored suit, rolling himself in a wheelchair. Amanda arrived just as John was enjoying his impromptu adventure. Her eyes widened in shock and disgust. She hurried over, her heels clicking sharply on the marble floor. "What are you doing?" she hissed. "That's disgusting. Get up. People will think you're crippled." John's laughter faded as he looked up at her, her words hitting him hard. The genuine smile Alex had given him contrasted sharply with Amanda's reaction. "Why does it matter?" John asked quietly, still seated in the wheelchair. "Because it's embarrassing. You're a billionaire, for crying out loud. You shouldn't be sitting in a wheelchair," Amanda snapped. John rolled closer to her and looked her straight in the eye. "And what if I was in a wheelchair? Would that make me any less of a person?" Amanda stammered, unable to meet his gaze. I didn't mean." "Maybe it's time you met someone who really appreciates life," John said firmly. He turned back to Alex, who had been watching the scene unfold. "Thank you for the ride," John said warmly to Alex as he stood up, offering his hand. "You've given me a lot to think about." Alex shook his hand, a bit bewildered. "Anytime. Take care." John left the restaurant, leaving Amanda standing there, her face red with embarrassment. He realized he needed someone who valued him for who he was, not for his wealth. Later that day, John made a substantial donation to the clinic Alex frequented, ensuring better facilities and support for those in need. Amanda never got another call from John. He had found a new perspective and a new purpose in the weeks following the incident. John couldn't shake the memory of Amanda and Alex. Their contrasting reactions had opened his eyes to a new world of empathy and understanding. He decided to embrace this perspective by dedicating more of his time and resources to meaningful causes. John's first step was to visit the clinic where he had met Alex. He wanted to understand the challenges faced by those who relied on its services. He arranged a meeting with Dr. Patel, the clinic's director. "Mr. Harwood, it's a pleasure to meet you," Dr. Patel greeted him warmly. "Your donation has already made a significant difference." "Please call me John," he replied with a smile. "I want to do more than just donate money. I want to understand how we can make a lasting change." Impressed by John's genuine interest, Dr. Patel gave him a tour of the clinic, introducing him to the staff and patients. John spent hours listening to their stories, learning about their daily struggles and triumphs. One story stood out. A young woman named Lily, paralyzed from the waist down in a car accident, shared her journey of resilience and determination. Despite her challenges, she had found a way to live a fulfilling life and had become a mentor to others in similar situations. "Lily, your story is incredibly inspiring," John said, moved by her strength. "What can I do to help support your work?" Lily smiled, her eyes shining with hope. "We need more programs focused on rehabilitation and independence. Many of us just need the right tools and opportunities to thrive." John took Lily's words to heart. He collaborated with Dr. Patel and the clinic's team to develop comprehensive rehabilitation and empowerment programs. They established workshops, vocational training, and counseling services to help patients regain their independence. John also deepened his friendship with Alex, bonding over shared interests and experiences. He admired Alex's resilience and positive outlook. One evening, as they sat in the clinic's garden, Alex turned to John. "You know, John, you've done so much for us here, but I can't help but wonder, what's driving you?" John looked thoughtful for a moment. "I think it's the realization that wealth means nothing if it's not used to make a difference. Meeting you and seeing the world through your eyes has given me a purpose I never knew I needed." Alex nodded, understanding the profound shift in John's perspective. It's amazing what a little empathy and understanding can do. Meanwhile, Amanda, reflecting on her past actions, began to change. She couldn't shake the image of John in the wheelchair and the harsh words she had spoken. Realizing her superficial values had cost her a chance with a remarkable person, she decided to reach out to John. She sent him a heartfelt letter, apologizing for her behavior and expressing her desire to change. John received the letter with mixed emotions. He appreciated her honesty but knew he had moved on from that chapter of his life. He replied with a kind note, wishing her well on her journey of self-discovery and growth. With his focus now on making a positive impact, John continued to work closely with the clinic, expanding its reach and services. His efforts brought significant changes, not just in the lives of the patients but also in the community. Through his journey, John discovered that true wealth lies in the connections we make and the lives we touch. His experiences with Alex, Lily, and the clinic had transformed him into a better person, one who understood the true value of generosity, empathy, and kindness. And in the end, that was worth more than all the riches in the world. John Harwood's philanthropic work at the clinic continued to thrive. The rehabilitation and empowerment programs he helped establish were transforming lives, and the community began to view him as more than just a billionaire. He was seen as a compassionate and dedicated individual. One day, while John was visiting the clinic, Dr. Patel approached him with exciting news. "John, we've been selected for a major grant to expand our services nationwide. This is a huge step for us." John's face lit up with a smile. "That's fantastic, Dr. Patel. This could help so many more people." As the clinic prepared for the expansion, John remained deeply involved. He met with potential partners, helped secure additional funding, and even spoke at several events to raise awareness about the importance of accessible healthcare and rehabilitation services. Meanwhile, Amanda, who had been reflecting on her past actions, was making significant changes in her own life. She started volunteering at local shelters and community centers, slowly rebuilding her sense of purpose and empathy. She understood that true fulfillment came from helping others, not from material wealth. One evening, as John was wrapping up a long day at the clinic, he received a surprise visit from Alex. "John, there's someone I'd like you to meet," Alex said with a grin. Curious, John followed Alex to a nearby park, where a group of people had gathered for a community event. There, he was introduced to Emily, a young woman who had recently moved to the city and was starting a non-profit organization focused on mental health awareness. "Emily, this is John," Alex introduced them. "John, Emily is doing incredible work in our community. I thought you two should meet." Emily extended her hand with a warm smile. "It's an honor to meet you, John. I've heard so much about your work at the clinic." John shook her hand, impressed by her enthusiasm and dedication. "Thank you, Emily. It's great to meet someone who's making such a positive impact." As the evening went on, John and Emily found themselves deep in conversation. They shared their visions for a better world and discussed ways they could collaborate to support each other's initiatives. It was clear that they had a shared passion for helping others and making a difference. Over the next few months, John and Emily began working together on several projects. They organized community outreach programs, mental health workshops, and fundraising events. Their partnership flourished, and they quickly became close friends. One day, as they were finalizing plans for a large charity gala, Emily turned to John. "You know, John, your story is truly inspiring. You've shown that even the smallest acts of kindness can have a profound impact." John smiled, grateful for her words. "Thank you, Emily. Meeting you and working with you has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. As the charity gala approached, the excitement in the community was palpable. The event was a huge success, raising significant funds for both the clinic and Emily's nonprofit organization. The night was filled with heartfelt speeches, moving performances, and a sense of unity and hope. During his speech, John reflected on his journey. When I started this path, I had no idea where it would lead, but I've learned that true wealth is measured not by what we have, but by what we give. And in giving, we receive so much more in return. The audience erupted in applause, moved by John's words and his unwavering commitment to making a difference. As the night came to a close, John stood with Emily and Alex, looking out at the crowd of supporters and friends. "This is just the beginning," John said, his voice filled with hope and determination. "Together, we can continue to change lives and build a brighter future for everyone." And so, John Harwood's journey continued, driven by a newfound sense of purpose and a deep connection to the people around him. His legacy of kindness, generosity, and empathy would inspire others for generations to come. As the months turned into years, John Harwood's impact continued to grow. The clinic expanded its reach across the nation, providing crucial services to countless individuals. Emily's nonprofit organization also flourished, raising awareness and support for mental health. John and Emily's partnership evolved into a deep and meaningful relationship. They shared not only a professional bond but also a personal connection built on mutual respect and a shared passion for helping others. Their love story became a testament to the power of empathy and the beauty of finding a kindred spirit in unexpected places. Amanda, who had taken John's words to heart, found her own path to redemption. Her work in the community brought her a sense of fulfillment she had never known. She became an advocate for those less fortunate, dedicating her time and resources to making a difference. Though her path never crossed with John's again, she was grateful for the lesson he had taught her. One sunny afternoon, John, Emily, Alex, and Lily gathered at the clinic to celebrate its latest milestone, a new wing dedicated to advanced rehabilitation technologies and support services. The atmosphere was filled with joy and gratitude as patients, staff, and supporters came together to commemorate the achievement. During the celebration, John took a moment to reflect on his journey. He looked around at the smiling faces, the lives he had touched, and the friendships he had forged. It was a far cry from the life he once led, focused solely on business and wealth. In his speech, John said, "I've learned that the greatest riches in life are not measured in dollars or possessions, but in the relationships we build and the lives we touch. Today, I stand here not as a billionaire, but as a friend, a partner, and a fellow human being committed to making the world a better place." The crowd erupted in applause, and John felt a profound sense of fulfillment. He had found his true calling and purpose, one that went far beyond financial success. As the sun set, John and Emily walked hand in hand through the clinic's garden, where it all began. They paused by the bench where John had first met Alex, a reminder of the moment that changed everything. "Thank you for showing me what really matters," John said softly to Emily. "And thank you for being the person who cares enough to make a difference," Emily replied, squeezing his hand. Together, they watched as patients and their families enjoyed the festivities, knowing that their efforts had made it all possible. John Harwood's journey had come full circle, transforming him into a man who understood the true value of generosity, empathy, and love. And so, with a heart full of gratitude and a spirit dedicated to giving, John Harwood's story reached its beautiful conclusion. His legacy of kindness would continue to inspire others, proving that even the smallest acts of compassion could create ripples of change that would last a lifetime. The end.